Jen, let me read this to you, please. Do this even though you don't want to, because it is meaningful. All right, so I did that video that I showed you about nutrition and the lack of it in most stores in America. How American supermarkets have been captured by this food industry that
is trying to kill us.
They're like drug dealers.
Yeah.
And I hate to blame them, because that again is causation. It's not their fault, it's our own fault. Because we demand it, we buy it, and we drive up the demand, and they just give us what we want. So here is the response I have to this video. Listen to this. This is really, really important and very telling. This comment. So what I did was I filmed 7 minutes. It was about a 7-minute stint. I walked around in everything in the store. Literally almost everything. There were a few little areas. You can try to survive by buying from the produce, the dairy, and the meat section. But those areas have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, and what has increased in volume and size is sugar. Everything is repackaged sugar. Yeah. And don't kid yourself. Your pizzas have sugar, your biscuits have sugar, everything.
And something that's even worse than sugar is polyunsaturated fatty acids that people don't even think of.
She calls them PUFAs.
Everything.
Yeah, so you have to all you have to do is learn a little bit. People don't. Yeah. It's like smoking. You can just kid yourself and not think about it, or you can learn about what it's actually doing to your lungs. But listen to this response to this video. And this might be you. This might be your response to what I did there, walking around the store and showing you and discussing how diabolical it is, and it's killing us. It is currently actively killing people, and they wonder why they're completely dependent on the medical industry for managing sickness, not making you well, but managing your sickness and profiting off of you.
And
like a slave.
You can't really say that you can't afford good food, because that's not true. You can grow it.
Well, that's what we'll listen to this comment first. Listen to this reply.
Medical bills.
Okay, let me read
more
it.
Than good food.
Let me read it, and then you can go there. Okay, so this guy says after on the comment under my video, he says fact. He holds this as fact. That means he is absolutely convinced of this. I don't know this fact, so he needs to explain it to me, because he's angry and he's at his wit's end, and I don't blame him. 70% of American people can't afford to buy healthy food. We have a choice to have a roof over our heads and a vehicle to get back and forth to work so we can buy healthy food and live on the street. He's asking, basically. I have a full-time job, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I only make $296 a week. My rent is $1,200 a month. My POS Plymouth, you know what that acronym means.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Listen. None of it makes sense, but he's not it doesn't mean he's a bad person. It means he's been brainwashed. Yeah. My POS Plymouth Duster has insurance, and that is $250 every 3 months. He's asking you to do the math and see how impossible it is. And every week I'm trying to fix my car again for some new problem. It's not that effing easy to eat healthy when the prices are outrageous. That's what you wanted to address, and you will in a minute. I survive day to day, and I thank God for being able to do that. I am obese. I am 5'1". I am 51 years old and 5'7". I now weigh 324 pounds. There is a reason for that. And we're going to explain that to you, and it's very simple. And it's very, very escapable if you use the right tool. Okay, I want to lose weight and I want to eat healthy, but I can barely eat ramen soups, and I make too much money for assistance. This is a common problem. That's why we are all sick and dying, because of American governments. The American government won't help us. They'll only help the rich pricks. My friend, fact is, you are wrong on almost 100% of what you're saying here. And the main thing you're wrong about is causation. You're saying everything out there is ruining your life. And you're taking no personal responsibility, not because you're a bad person, but because you are ignorant of the facts.
Well, and that's the way you were taught.
And that's the way you were taught. One fact is, if it takes 5 apples to equal 1 apple in nutrition value that your parents and grandparents ate, then that means you're eating probably 5 times more food to get the nutrition you need.
Yeah.
Your body is craving more because we're giving it garbage food. So if you can buy apples, apple's a symbol for all of these foods. If you can buy non-GMO, organic apples that are farmed, or whatever food it is, they're properly farmed on soil that has not been depleted, i.e. over-farmed, and it doesn't have all these toxins in it, you're going to satiate yourself with less food. That, combined with the fact is you don't really need to eat a whole lot.
Yeah.
We're all eating way too much.
Fasting is free.
Fasting is free, and there are people,
and it's so good
regardless of whether this hurts your feelings or not, there are people out there who have been morbidly obese, like 600-700 pounds, or maybe 500 pounds. A guy from Scotland, Ireland or Scotland, who fasted for like 50 days or longer and lost all that weight in a healthy fashion. You might not believe it, but this is possible. We are living proof. We fasted on water. We drank only water. We ate zero food. We took in 0 calories for 14 days. And we're healthier.
It was not easy, but it was.
You can stand there and say, "That's a lie. You will die. You destroyed your organs." Well, this was years ago, and we're fine. But we knew how to do it, and we made sure that we were healthy enough going into it. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying get doctor supervision if you want to. There are fasting centers. Anyway, say what you want.
And through autophagy, as you're fasting, your body is actually so smart that it goes in and eats the bad proteins that are in your system. So if you had any cancer or any disease, it'll eat that and it'll get rid of that. So
essentially,
it's not a fasting video, but
you, my friend,
is an option.
You have convinced yourself, like many of us, that we need so many pounds of food a day. We don't need that.
You don't.
Caloric restriction is the healthiest thing you can do, and you're
crying.
crying.
It saves money.
You're crying about not being able to afford enough food when what you need to do is stop putting so much stuff in your mouth. And you can do this in a managed fashion. You can get health management affordably. You can get nutritionists who will walk you through this and keep you healthy while you bring your weight way down. Fast, drink clean water, eat clean food, and like Farm Girl was trying to say, if you're eating healthy, clean food, you need much, much less of it.
Yep.
So it's essentially the same price or cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, it would be way cheaper if you even did intermittent fasting, where you cut out a meal every day or 2 meals a day, or you fast for 1 day and then you refeed the next, and then you fast and you refeed. It's so good for your body.
And how much money are you saving?
Your system, and you're saving that money.
How much money did we save when we fasted for 14 days?
Oh my gosh!
Well, it depends on how expensive the food we closed our kitchen.
It was
closed it. It was closed. It was done. We didn't consume a cup of coffee, an ounce of alcohol, not a shred of food. I think we put a couple of granules of salt on our tongues one day.
8 or 9 days.
And it was astounding.
We loved it.
The experience was astounding. It was real. We documented the whole thing. We don't lie. We're not interested in lying or the effects or the gains made from it. It's possible.
And
we did it. And people do it all the time.
Yeah.
So again, you don't need all that food anyway. Stop crying about not being able to buy it in the first place. It's like saying, a poor person like me can't afford cigarettes. It's not fair. They're only taking care of the rich people. You don't need frickin' cigarettes. You shouldn't have it. We shouldn't be drinking outrageous amounts of alcohol and smoking cigarettes and putting Chinese chemicals in our lungs with vapes. And it's just ridiculous. This is the problem right here. That's about a 5-inch circumference. That's
really
the whole
hard,
problem.
But you just have to get convinced that you want to be good to yourself.
Isn't it so joyful though when it clicks?
Yes.
Stand back. Look at this. This is a fifth. Let me see your abdominal wall. How old are you? How old are you?
56.
This is not to brag. This is just to show you what is possible. I'm 60 years old. 60 years old.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
I don't need food. I don't want that much food. I'm trying to eat less. I do sin. I do make
enjoy
mistakes.
Food, that's for sure.
I said, I went down the potato chip aisle. I said, I eat some of this stuff. That's my problem.
But we try and choose the ones that don't have the bad oils, the seed oils,
right,
and all that, and just try all the time to do what we can for
try
our
to
bodies.
find GMO. You can find non-GMO chips.
Yes,
and we
then
do.
Every once in a while, you splurge, and of course you're going to.
We had a beer. We had a beer the other day. We said we quit drinking. Well, when you drink 5-7 drinks a day for 20 years, and then you drink a couple of beers every couple of months, that's pretty much quitting drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm not bragging, I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you, yes, we're all just doing the best we can, but the best has to be better if the prize is life and health.
Yeah.
Why do people say, I can't afford it and it's all stacked against me, but you can afford to eat garbage. You got to eat 5 to 10 times as much to support this appetite. You're barely getting any health and only putting poison in. You've got heart disease, diabetes, lung disease.
Paying all these medical bills.
You're frying your endocrine system. You're paying all the medical bills. You got to pay for all that, all the deductibles, or if you're self-insured.
They're making us sick so they can pretend to make us healthy.
Okay, let's end it. But that is my response to the young man, or Ross, younger than me, and he's 350 pounds roughly. There's the signal
there. It's just
there.
priorities.
Don't be angry. Don't be angry at me, and I'm not angry at you. I understand you're doing your best, but your best isn't good enough if you're dying because you're eating garbage food and not seeing the writing on the walls.
Yeah.
It's healthier and more affordable to eat non-GMO healthy food than it is to eat Velveeta and other garbage.
And if you start eating smaller portions, you'll find that you're spending less on food, because you're just not having to buy as much. It's so much better for your body.
Clean, intelligent living is really not. It's simple. It's not complicated. It really is not that complicated. People think it's complicated.
You just have to take baby steps and get started.
All right.
Just get started.
We send you all love.
Yes.
It's coming from the right place. I'm animated because I'm angry, because these are fellow humans. We're not animals.
He just loves you and wants to help. We love you.
Love you all. Be well. Be common sense. Come on. We can do this.